browsing Facebook to driving to work, to brewing a pot of coffee, and to traveling to England, what is something that all of these activities have in common? That something is energy. All these activities use energy. Whether it's from powering a city to marathoning the office, our society is an energy glutton. In fact, according to the Energy Information Administration's website, in 2014, the U.S. primary consumption was about 98 quadrillion British thermal units, equal to 18% of world total primary energy consumption. That's quite a lot, and most of that's going to be fossil fuels. Because most of that's going to be fossil fuels, it comes at a price tag, from rising global temperatures to health risks to environmental damage. So obviously we need some sort of alternative. Today I'm going to be talking to you about renewable energy and its benefits, the kinds of renewable energy that we have currently, and what you can do about it. Okay, so first of all, why should you care about renewable energy? Well, according to environmentalscience.org, there's quite a few reasons. Not the least of which is climate change. It's obviously a big problem that we're facing today, and a driving force behind that is fossil fuels. Comparatively, renewable energy emits much less emissions into the environment than traditional fossil fuels. And according to the website, they say most continents have recorded high temperatures in summer, record lows in winter, and increased frequency of typhoons and hurricanes, record dry spells, droughts, and flooding. Renewable energy is one of the best ways to combat the rising global temperatures. Drilling is also damaging to the environment, as we have to go deeper down to reach these oil reserves. It presents a threat to local wildlife populations and local ecosystems. Renewable energy is not without its economic, environmental problems, but it's not quite as dramatic. There are also health benefits. It's no secret that fossil fuels put out a lot of toxins into the air, most of which pose some health concerns, and then we're just breathing those toxins in. According to energy.gov regarding the Sunshot Initiative, reducing fossil fuel pollutants could save over 25,000 lives and save $167 billion in health and environmental damages. There are also economic reasons to increase our dependency on renewable energy. It's typically, according to the Union of Concerned Scientists, typically more labor-intensive, which creates more jobs. Creating more jobs gives people more disposable incomes, which will then trickle down into other industries and benefit those as well. Renewable energy also has more stable energy prices, and they have also been gradually declining. And after initial startup costs, they are generally less expensive. Those are just a few of the major economic benefits behind renewable energy. In addition, fossil fuels are also not an unlimited resources, whereas renewable energy ideally is. It will take, according to the environmentalscience.org, around 10 million years to replenish what we have used just in the last 150. We may not run out anytime soon, but we will eventually. Now, what kinds of renewable energy technologies do we have now that we've covered the benefits? According to environmentalscience.org, they talk about quite a few. I'm going to focus on just a couple of those. The first is solar, which harnesses the energy from the sun and converts that into electricity. There are a lot of benefits to this. Obviously, the sun's not going anywhere, so it's unlimited, and it's relatively inexpensive after initial startup costs. Some of the disadvantages would be that it's not going to have quite as much output in cloudier areas. There's also wind power, which is another big one that people are generally well familiar with. Wind is obviously available everywhere. There's wind everywhere in the world. It has minimal emissions impact, and it's extremely cheap. Some of the disadvantages are that you need a lot of land, so you can't put them near cities, and that there can be decreased output depending on the day. Another one that I found interesting on the website was thermal energy, which is harnessing heat from the earth, either through natural energy loss, volcanic activity, and radioactive decay. It's continually renewable and is one of the cleanest forms of energy that we have out there, because you're not going to be putting anything into the environment that the earth isn't already creating itself. There are some disadvantages as it's only realistic in certain geological areas and it can be a bit expensive. So those are some of the technologies that we have now. More than likely we'll be using a combination of these, and it will vary depending on the area and a community's individual needs. So now that we've covered some of the basics of the needs that we for renewable energy and the different kinds of renewable energy that we have, what are we going to do about it? Well, there are quite a few things that we could do, and one of them is to make personal changes. There are some obvious ones like turning off lights that you don't need and not using energy sources that you don't need. Use a bike, walk places that you can, carpool, turn off lights, and everything that does actually make an impact. Here are some other ideas from the National Park Service's website. Make sure that your home is insulated. In the long run, this will also save you money, so it's a win-win situation for everyone. You can look for the Energy Star label on future appliances, and they can be a bit more expensive, but they will save you money in the long run. You can line dry your clothes instead of using a dryer, and you can wash your clothes in cold water instead of in hot water. You can also plant a garden. Another thing that you can do is to educate yourself as much as possible. Keep track of local and national policies on renewable energy. Keep track of local and national organizations for environmental organizations and for renewable energy organizations. There are a lot of great ones out there that could all use your time, your energy, and your money doing great work out there. You can also start a conversation either through social media or in real life to help keep communication going and educate people on these issues and spread awareness. You can also call your local representatives and encourage them to push for policies that are pro-renewable energy. This does actually influence policy more than a lot of people give it credit for. So, in conclusion, investing your time and efforts in clean energy will pave the way to a cleaner and more sustainable future to help us, our society, and our planet. There's quite a bit of work to do, but there are solid steps forward that we can all take to help provide for a change and promote a brighter future for everyone. It is, as Mother Teresa once said, "I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples." Thank you.